The image of a British monarch is one of immovable constancy. It is etched in stone, woven into velvet and ermine, and projected in the steady, unwavering gaze from coin and stamp. It is an institution built on the foundation of never complain, never explain. For centuries, this stoic silence has been the monarchy's shield, protecting it from the messy, vulnerable, and all too human realities of the body. But in 2025, that ancient shield has been deliberately and shockingly laid aside. The news, when it broke, did not arrive as a terse, formal bulletin from the Press Association. It came instead from the man himself. King Charles III, in a pre-recorded address from a sunlit room in Buckingham Palace, looked directly into the camera and into the souls of millions, and spoke not as a king, but as a man confronting his own mortality. The diagnosis, a complex and aggressive form of cancer, was no longer a private battle, but a public confession. The world, accustomed to the royal stiff upper lip, was met with a startling display of a trembling one. This was more than a health update. It was a profound rupture in a centuries-old protocol, and the beginning of the most consequential chapter of his reign. This is the story of that moment, and the seismic ripples it has sent through his family, the institution he embodies, and the nations he serves. It is a story about the collision of tradition and transparency, the redefinition of strength in a modern world, and the unexpected legacy a king may forge not from a throne, but from a sickbed. The broadcast was scheduled with little fanfare, a simple notification from the BBC that His Majesty would be addressing the nation at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. The speculation was immediate and feverish. Abdication? A national emergency? The lingering uncertainty from his previous, publicly acknowledged prostate procedure had created a low hum of public anxiety, which this announcement amplified into a deafening roar. When the screen flickered to life, the setting was deliberate. This was not the formal, distant backdrop of a throne room or a desk laden with state papers. King Charles was seated in an armchair, dressed in a simple navy suit, a single, tasteful painting of a landscape behind him. The light was warm, intimate. He began not with the royal we, but with the personal I. My dear fellow citizens, friends across the Commonwealth, and all of you who have offered my family and me such kindness and support since my accession, I am speaking to you today from my home, but I come to you with a heart that is both heavy and hopeful. He then did the unthinkable. He detailed his ordeal. He spoke of the initial optimism following his prostate treatment, the subsequent nagging fatigue that was dismissed as part of the recovery, and the persistent whispering symptoms that prompted further, more invasive tests. He gave the disease a name, a rare and aggressive form of cancer, and outlined, in broad but clear terms, the robust and demanding course of treatment he was about to undertake, which would involve periods of hospitalization and significant convalescence. The prognosis, I am told, is challenging, but not without hope, he stated, his hands, usually so animated, resting still on his knees. My doctors are remarkable, and I have every faith in their skill. But I would be lying if I did not admit to you the fear that accompanies such a diagnosis. The fear is a universal language, one I am learning to speak with a fluency I never desired. This admission of fear was the most shocking element. Here was the defender of the faith, the fount of honor, admitting to a base, human emotion he was never supposed to acknowledge. He was dismantling, brick by brick, the myth of royal invincibility. He then moved to the constitutional. With unwavering clarity, he confirmed that counselors of state would be appointed to carry out his official duties during his treatment. He named the Princess of Wales, Catherine, and his sister, the Princess Royal, as his primary deputies, a move that signaled both his trust in the next generation and the unparalleled reliability of Princess Anne. He assured the nation that the business of monarchy, the signing of papers, the hosting of ambassadors, would continue uninterrupted. But his final words, would be replayed and analyzed for years to come. This institution, which I have been prepared to serve my entire life, is greater than any one individual, but it is also made up of individuals, my family. And in this moment, I must ask for your patience, your understanding, and your prayers, not for the king, but for the man, for Charles, the husband, the father, and the grandfather. It is in the strength I draw from my family and from you that I place my hope and my resolve. Thank you.